Annabelle Comes Home is directed by Gary Dauberman and stars Mackenzie Grace, Vera Farmiga, and Patrick Wilson, and is the newest film in the Conjuring franchise, which is in the third film in the Annabelle series that start out in Annabelle and Annabelle Creations. And in this story, we deal with the Warrens' daughter from the other films. Basically, as you see in the trailers, she ends up basicly encountering some evil spirits that take place in the Warrens' home. She's being babysitted by her friends from while the Warrens are out.
Going on another investigation.
And basically, as this one of the
trailers,
like the trailers suggest, there's some evil that comes forward with adult Annabelle once again. And
you see the girls.
You see the girls
in the trailer. It shows it, literally spoils it.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Or they want to fucking open up the gates and let them out.
Yeah.
The spirits. So.
Yeah, and then basically it's up to her and her friends who try to survive the night and try to stop evil.
Yep.
And now here's some backstory. Now, this is now the third film in the Annabelle franchise, and also the newest entry in the Conjuring franchise overall. And the Conjuring series, I feel like has been hit and miss throughout the years. Now, I love the first two movies a lot.
The Conjuring
films by themselves, I love.
Are great.
But it seems like after the first Annabelle movie came out, they were struggling a lot for spin-offs, because when they announced that they were going to do spin-offs for the Annabelle films and stuff, I got actually hyped when the first Annabelle was coming out. Because I actually will admit, when the first time I seen the trailer of that, I was like, oh yeah, we're going to see something that actually is going to be cool from the first Conjuring. All right. First movie comes out, I fucking was so disappointed. I was like, what the fuck did you do?
Yeah.
And then after that, they end up doing more spin-offs, including the Nun, which was disappointing.
God, it was bad.
The second Annabelle film I actually thought was a good, major step up for me.
I still was bored with it. I was not on par with it.
But I still really enjoyed that one. And then we had the other ones like the Nun, and then you had the fucking other one, Curse of La Llorona,
which we reviewed this year, and it was fucking horrible.
Yeah, it was definitely the worst out of the franchise for me. And so going into this one, I was actually kind of hyped, because knowing that they were kind of bringing the Warrens back and stuff from the other Conjuring films.
I think that was the only saving grace. Other than that, I was fucking I was like, oh my god, I don't know where this is gonna go.
I don't know what they were gonna do, because for the trailer, it's giving me the same vibe like I did with the other spin-off movies. I'm like, okay, we're probably gonna get the same
badass trailer, sucky ass fucking movie.
Well, yeah, and so upon seeing the film, I can honestly say I was actually kind of surprised by this.
Yes, I was pleasantly surprised. This is the first.
Now,
this is the first positive spin-off you're gonna hear from me. Because I don't think I've ever done a positive spin-off. Because even Creations, while I did enjoy the story a lot more, I still was
kind of bored
with it. So this is going to be my first positive.
Yeah, this to me, I think that it's definitely like kind of on the same. Well, it's not. There's things I liked in Creations more than this on certain story elements, but I will say that this film was things that definitely was a major fucking step up compared to the other films and the spin-offs that we've had.
Yeah.
So with that, I actually was surprised by this. Now, to get my pros out of the way, the performances, it's great to see the Warrens back Patrick Wilson and Vera Farmiga.
But they're also very short-lived.
But they're very short-lived, which I thought was a little disappointing, because they had a missed opportunity I thought would have come in handy in the film on a writing standpoint. But when they're on screen, I fucking love them. I can't get enough of them.
Yeah.
And I also got to give credit to Mackenzie Grace, who you told me about. She was in that movie Gifted,
and she's great.
She's great. I hear that she's becoming a really great actress, and she really shines here. I really enjoyed her performance, and
I didn't mind the babysitters.
The babysitters were pretty good. I did have a problem at first with one of them, because the way it sets it up. At first, when it sets up one of them, I thought they were going to go in that typical route where you get that really stupid ass character, which is done.
Kind of like example. Like in Halloween 5, you get that loud-spoken, know-it-all, bitchy attitude. Mm-hmm. I'm going to fucking touch what I want, and I thought it was going that direction. But there's actually quite a bit of a good motive.
Which I thought was the only thing that I thought this storyline was actually kind of good for, because it really shows that with this character.
It made sense why she went in there.
Yeah, so I appreciated that, and I thought that you know, like for what they do with this story arc with her, I thought was a nice little emotional arc for her that I liked. Now, the other praise I gotta say too is, much like the other Conjuring films and some of the other spin-offs, the atmosphere, fucking spot on. I love the atmosphere. And the production design is always top notch.
This is probably one of my favorite atmospheres since the Conjuring movies. Though they go with a kind of a Carpenter vibe.
Yeah.
With the fog.
And you got kind of like the entities like in the background.
Where instead of make them go rawr, they do it in this film, but not as much as what I've been told through other reviewers that watched this before I did, where they said it was constant. I don't see that. I actually saw more of a Carpenter's Halloween feel to it.
Yeah.
Which I actually like that better, where you see them in a background or just in an offsetting, uneasy section. And what that actually helps a lot better, since the guy who is involved with It and It Chapter 2, which I love.
Yeah, he's the first
It. And I can't wait to see the second. I know that's going to be phenomenal. So, it's cool that guy was involved with this. You can actually see the elements from what he did with how they handled it in this film. And I think that's what really made the creatures look cool.
Yeah, and I gotta admit that some of the designs they use, I thought were giving me like kind of flashback to certain movies like Pan's Labyrinth and shit,
and 13 Ghosts.
Yeah, there's actually creatures they set up, which I honestly wouldn't be surprised they do more spin-offs in the future with these characters, because knowing the Conjuring franchise, they're known for getting the different spin-offs from certain movies.
My only problem is they're gonna take, like the Conjuring 2 when we saw the Nun for the first time.
The Crooked Man.
We were anxious to see that. And then somebody else gets a hold of it and fucks it up.
Yeah.
And I think that's what they're going to end up doing.
Because
these creatures are always good before they have their spin-offs. And when they have their fucking spin-offs,
they always waste them. Yeah.
And they're watered down.
I know, and it's weird, and plus it would be weird because it would be a spin-off of a spin-off, so that would be a first.
Yeah.
But anyway, the rest of it, I gotta admit, the atmosphere and also the production design too, the way it's set in the 70s, I thought was a great, giving us the way it should be in these Conjuring films. Because my problem with Curse of the Lorna was the fact that in that film, it did not look like it was from the fucking 70s.
No, that was the worst costume design setting setup I've seen all year.
So I was glad to see they went back to traditional, it actually looked authentic and it looked like it was from the 70s. And you get soundtrack too that was actually pretty good, that was playing classic
not only that, they had some very good tension.
They did, yes.
In this
there's certain scenes that, the way that they kind of set up certain shots, like well, I'm not going to spoil anything, but there's something that happens with a coin, right? Well, there's certain shots they set up with this coin, and it pulls a 180 on you on certain points when they're pointing at where the ghost is at, where they're shining the light on it, and it turned out to be like a coin or something else, which I thought was pretty suspenseful.
Yeah, and then they actually kind of did something a little different here, where they introduced a werewolf, which was kind of weird.
Yeah, that was weird, but I thought it was
creepy. The werewolf it was underused, but he was actually creepy as shit.
Yeah. And I like that the film is also more self-contained. Well, actually, no.
Another thing I want to bring up, I've never seen done in any fucking Conjuring films. The kind of like a comedic tone. I've never really seen it done that.
Well, we did kind of do that in the Conjuring 2 a little bit. We had certain...
This one really took it over the...
Yeah, they did, because there's it mainly involves with this guy they bring in who's pretty much trying to hit on the main babysitter, and... There's a recurring running joke that they use where he's basically got balls and stuff,
and he likes to woo. He likes
to woo women.
And you have the fucking pizza guy who was kind of funny.
Yeah,
the comedy was really strong compared to the other ones. I've never seen that in a Conjuring.
Yeah, I mean the second one the second Conjuring film, for I remember, it had kind of dark humor spread out here and there, but it was mainly played straight. Yeah, this is the first one where I felt like they had full-on comedy elements into it, which I thought worked.
Yeah.
So that was great. Now, this is where I get to some of my cons I kind of have with the movie. Yeah. Much like with the other spin-offs they do, it does become your typical jump scare in certain moments.
Yeah, in certain moments.
Now, they fixed it with, unlike Curse of the Lorna, which is all fucking jump scares back and forth, and the first Conjuring.
Yeah, I did hear quite a few people complain that it was like that throughout the whole movie. I gotta disagree because that's to a minimum.
Yeah.
It's like that. Another thing that really bothered me the most, my biggest complaint, was very anticlimactic.
Yeah, they set up a lot of elements with these different creatures and stuff that are the cases that the Warrens have been studying and all that. And I felt like the way it pays off, I thought, was really not really. It was very underwhelming because the way it was solved, I was like, really, we had to go this route. I mean, you really built something really big up, but you solved it in the most easiest way.
The kid and the girl, the babysitter and her friend just pretty much solved. And really, also, I kind of complain about the boyfriend. He's running around in circles, I guess. I'm assuming he's running around in circles around the house to get away from that werewolf.
Yeah.
And he pops up every now and then to save that little girl. Then he goes back in that shed. It's like, it's very inconsistent of that.
Yeah,
it's like, what's even his fucking point in this movie?
Yeah, I got you on that. But
yeah, the girls put Annabelle away and boom, it's over so easy. And then I get that Annabelle's a beacon for demons, but to me, I feel like as the movies keep making more Annabelle films, the less Annabelle is a purpose in the movie.
Yeah, because, well, I think it's given that, I think even even going to the other two films, Annabelle is basically there to set up, she's basically there to possess, other ghosts to do the work for her. Where basically she, in a way, is, and I use this in a literary term, she's literally a puppet for, other ghosts.
Yeah. But I felt like
I get
she was
in
too
context
in this one,
right?
Because you hardly ever fucking see her.
The most you use really Annabelle really is in the second film. Because even the first film, she doesn't do shit until the fucking end of it.
Yeah.
Seriously, and then this one, it's mainly the ghost doing all the work, and it is.
You
cool.
see her sitting around every now and then. Yeah.
Yeah, but now my other problem is that there are certain things where, much like you've seen a lot of. The way that the film is going along with its typical fashion with, looking into the places on your own and shit like that, the typical horror tropes that we're so used to, it's a common problem that takes place. And jump scares, like we said earlier, it does happen a lot, but not to the extreme. But when it does happen, you mainly know when it's coming because of the loud noises and shit and things like that. It also didn't help but off topic, but it also didn't help that the experience we kind of had wasn't really that good either.
Yeah, we had a bunch of fucking loudmouth teenagers, which ended up involving someone yelling at the audience, from the audience yelling to tell these kids to shut the fuck up, and then ended up bringing the manager and a cop in.
Yeah, I was actually surprised.
It was one of those Scream 2 where everybody's throwing paper planes and jumping around, or everybody's all fucking. I mean, that would probably work on a film that's fun where we're all having entertainment. But when you're trying to focus, you want to see something, you got that going on. That shit irritated the fuck out of me, and I should have known that because these films, every time me and him go to theaters seeing these type of films, it's every fucking time.
I know, and it's always horror movies.
Yeah, it's always these paranormal films that draw these young kids. No offense to young kids. I'm not saying all of you are like that, but I have bad experiences almost every time.
Yeah, but
with teenagers. But another thing I got to complain about, and I'm going to include this film, but it actually includes every film in the universe, is the lack of vulnerability and death. Yeah. There's really none other than the Conjurings, which are still hold to a minimum. Every one of these fucking spin-offs is really not a lot going on.
Well, the only exception where they've actually killed main characters was, I think, the only one that's seen that was Annabelle Creations, the second one.
Yeah, that.
So that was the only one that they actually did deaths with.
Yeah, but this one really didn't do that. The one you think that was going to happen, it fixed.
Yeah.
Itself, I'm like.
Yeah, and really the R rating, while there is some pretty disturbing moments certain here and there, it really it kind of benefits the fact that these movies could have just been really just hard PG-13 or soft R, because they're really not really R.
And if you're going to get an R rating, you should just go back and make it worth your while.
Yeah.
I mean, I hate whenever it's given an R rating and it was because of one fucking scene.
Yeah.
You might as well just go balls to the wall.
Yeah, but overall, though, I will say that while I did prefer Creations a little bit over this because of in terms of like story aspects and everything, I will say the creepy factor I thought was a lot more intense than the second one and the first one, of course.
Yeah.
But given on kind of like balancing out, and because I still put like the second one just a little bit over it, I'm gonna go with a high compelling grade on the Film Freaks meter for this one.
High compelling.
Yeah.
On this one, I'm gonna go with high average Joe. I like this better than the second one. I'm probably a rarity on that one. I thought the second one was just average.
Yeah, I got you.
And the first one was fucking trash. But yeah, this was my favorite Annabelle. Out of the Annabelles, this was my favorite Annabelle, and I thought that they're going in the right direction on this one.
Yeah, I mean, I'm actually now curious what they're going to do with the next Conjuring film coming out next year, and they do more spin-offs. I'm still open to them, but they really need to find better direction and writing for these movies.
And I want them to take a more dark, more bloodier approach.
Yeah.
Give it some balls to the wall feel to it. I get that you're trying to draw young crowds, but let's see what it's like if you went more bloodier.
Yeah, I could see that.
For once. Yeah.
So, for those of you who have also seen Annabelle Comes Home and the other Conjuring films in the Conjuring universe, let us know in the comments below of what you thought about them, and if you like what you see here, you can feel free to like and subscribe to our channel, and check out some other reviews here and our website at filmfreaks.com, and we'll be seeing you in our next review. We'll see you later.
Later.